Do not watch the Lilo and Stitch movie. Now, there are some good points to this movie, such as the way it handles wokeness and diversity, which we'll cover first of all. But ultimately, this, I think, is a movie that should not be shown, in my opinion, to children because of its messaging, which we'll get into later on. First of all, the way it handles diversity and wokeness, I think, revolutionary. I think this will set the standard for how movies do it in future. And instead of, because it's a movie set in Hawaii, so naturally it would have a predominantly Hawaiian cast. But Hollywood, you're not allowed to do that in Hollywood. They need diversity. So they were probably thinking, oh, we've got to shove some white people in here, maybe something like that. But the writers of this movie did absolutely something phenomenal. And what they did is they actually said, let's do aliens as diversity instead, which is a genius idea because everyone loves aliens in shows. Alf from Alf. Alien from the movie Alien was the standout character of that movie for me. Marvin the Martian from Looney Tunes. Mac from Mac and Me. Many aliens such as these live in our minds, and you always enjoy seeing an alien on the big screen. Everyone loves that. And so they did that. The diversity in this movie, instead of just shoving, I don't know, some white people or some Asian people or whatever in there for diversity reasons, they've done it with aliens, which is absolutely phenomenal. There is, I think there's a white woman that appears at some point, but ultimately it's not jammed down your throat. It is mostly done with aliens, which is very great. Nothing for no nudity, which I thought was a little bit weird. I know it is predominantly a children's movie, but who's taking the children to see that movie? Mum and dad. And I think with a movie, you got to have something for mum and dad. So I think if perhaps, I don't know if maybe they could look at this in future. It's just a suggestion. They don't have to do it. But maybe if you throw like a love scene in there, like a romantic adult time scene, mum can just say to kid, hey, don't look at the screen. You sort of cover their hands, cover their eyes with your hands. They can eat popcorn and drink some like a nice Coca-Cola, which is always better in the cinema. And the parents can look at the screen, and there's a little something for them. And maybe there's a woman with them out, and for the man, and for mum, you could see a fella in the movie who's potentially hanging dong. And then once that scene's over, oh, okay, you can look at the screen again now, kid. And everything's fine, and the movie just goes on, and it really is then an experience for the whole family instead of just for the child. That's something they could look at potentially in future. Where this movie does take a serious downturn for me, though, and is why I think you shouldn't watch the movie, is the way it handles an alien invasion. I think the messaging is all wrong. I think when an alien invasion comes, and it could come, and I'm sorry if I get emotional about this, it's not going to be fun and shenanigans like it's represented in this movie. You're not going to have a little furry fuzzball running around, getting up to hijinks with, admittedly an adorable young child, which is it's very fun and it's nice and it's cute to see. But that's not how it's going to be if an alien invasion comes. It's going to be a lot more. There's lives going to be lost, and potentially we could be held captive. And so I think it is wrong to show children how, oh, look at what a fun rumpus time that it's going to be when aliens come, when it might not be that at all. And I think we should have a movie. I think if you're going to show your kids a movie this summer, War of the Worlds would be a better way to go, because that shows you a little bit more about how it could an alien invasion will actually be. No fun and games. No, we're all a family now. The only family you might become is a pet to your new alien overlords, which will not be a fun time because they probably won't treat like I would treat a dog with love and kindness. They'll probably just treat you like common filth. And so I give this movie 1 star for that. But I do think we will see a lot more aliens in movies going forward. I think now every movie that comes out, I know some are already recorded, but I think maybe from 2026, every movie that comes out will have aliens in it, just to cover diversity that way, which I think is a lot more fun. But I would like to see those aliens portrayed if they are on Earth and they are invading, because there are good ones out there. I'm not saying there aren't good aliens, but certainly in it like an invasion scenario, don't have it like it's a fun time, because it's not going to be a fun time if that happens. It will be a disaster. But just to clarify, there are good aliens as well, and you could do it in that way, where it's like, oh, we're not here to invade, we're just here to play Monopoly or whatever. Maybe you could do that for a Monopoly movie. That's an idea for Mattel or Hasbro or whoever makes that game. Please subscribe.